Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Big Big for Winning Gaming here. Welcome back to episode number 31 of winning a national title with every team in the game. We're making some good progress right now with 3 episodes per week. And you guys are watching this video. Today's my birthday on January 31st, so it's a fun one. But yeah, so if you guys are new team or new episode means new team, means we gotta spin a wheel. Let's see who we get in episode number 31. And that team, we're going to have our first. And we get Nebraska. We do get Nebraska. Nebraska is kind of good in this, too. At least for a couple years because they had Dylan Raiola. But we will be going back into the Big Ten this time with Nebraska as the team we are taking over. And they've not had some great seasons ever since 2016, but we will gladly take them to new heights this year and maybe a couple years down the road with Dylan Raiola as the starter. So let's check the coach abilities here. We do have Program Builder, which is nice, that we can already upgrade pipelines as well, which we already have pretty much best pipeline by 1, and then the 5 worst by 1, then we can get our 5 best by 1 tier as well. So we'll have a pretty good boost here with that. We also do have some recruiting. Is also an elite recruiter, mostly with the defense. Our offensive coordinator mostly does master motivating for the offense. So that's really good, along with some tactician, and same thing with our defensive coordinator. So really, we got to focus on our recruiting-wise for our offense, and then get some going on defense as well, and maybe focus on program builder later. But taking a look at the roster, of course, we do have a couple very good, talented players, but there are a lot of seniors. But the future is Dylan Raiola. His deal breaker is pro potential, but I think with this team, we might have a couple of them already. We won't have any wide receivers go because 83 and 82 don't really go into the league, but we do have some fast wide receivers as well. Tight ends, decent. Offensive lines, pretty decent. Defensive lines, pretty decent as well. And even so, we have an 89 overall corner who should make it. He's also got ball hawk, blanket coverage, jammer, house call. Pretty good player. Strong safety is an 85, and we do need a punter in this go-around. But I'm going to go ahead, simulate Season 1. I'll see everyone at the end of Season number 1. So here we are at the end of Season 1 with Nebraska. We go 9-3. We're also ranked 13th. However, we're not in the conference championship. That actually goes to Michigan and Oregon. I don't know what the tiebreakers are between Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, and Rutgers. But we beat couple of those teams. We did lose 3, and they're mostly all in the conference. We started off good with 3 games in a row against UTEP, Colorado, and FCS, some easy wins, and then losing to Illinois 37-9 was a terrible loss. We beat Purdue. We then lost to Rutgers 41-14, but that beat Indiana, lost to Ohio State, beat UCLA, and then we beat USC, who was ranked at the time, 38-34, then beating Wisconsin and Iowa to finish off the season and going 9-3. So a pretty decent first season. I don't think we made the college football playoff because we are ranked 13th unless something happens to where a lot of those teams lose. But even then, a lot of the teams I don't think are even in their conference championships. We do have the 12. Jalen Milroe wins the Heisman at 3,500 yards and 35 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. And we are not. We're playing Georgia in the Music City Bowl. So we do not go to the college football playoff, unfortunately, as the 12. That went to Miami of Ohio. But Michigan, NC State, Alabama, and Utah, also the automatic qualifiers with Oregon, Penn State, Auburn, Miami, Rutgers, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. A lot of Big Ten teams. Michigan, Oregon, Rutgers, Ohio State, all made it. So that's good. But unfortunately not for us. So we're going to go simulate to the end of season recap. We're probably not going to beat Georgia, unfortunately, because Georgia always ends our runs in college football playoffs, I swear. So they will probably beat us here in year number 1, but in our bowl game. But I mean, if we're, 10-3, I won't mind. and we're 9-4. So pro potential actually does go down to a B-, but no one wants to transfer, so that's nice. Coach stability goes up to a B+, and really 2 people want to transfer because of playing. How is our kicker at playing style? Anywho, it looks like Alabama beats Oregon in year number 1, 28-24, to win the national championship. Oregon kind of blew by everybody, beat Miami of Ohio pretty easily, beat Utah, then destroyed Michigan in the Big Ten rematch in the Big Ten championship game, and then lost to Alabama. So all in all, that's going to end season 1 here in Nebraska. It's on to season 2. And in season 2, Nebraska goes 12-0. 12-0 on a very solid season, beating Cincinnati and Akron early on, defeating USC, who ended up being ranked 2nd in the nation. Yet we only faced Ohio State, which is kind of weird, but maybe they only have 1 loss. I haven't checked that. But beating Northwestern pretty handily, barely beating Maryland. We beat UL Monroe pretty handily. We beat UCLA pretty handily. Minnesota we only won by 7. A close game against number 4 Penn State. A close game against number 3 Michigan. Michigan State we beat only by 5, and they went 0-12. So we kind of had a lot of close games later on the season. But Ohio State did only lose 1 in the conference, and that's why they are facing us in the conference championship. 3 teams at 10-2, and I think most of the teams in the top 25 are Big Ten. I mean, the top 4 are Big Ten teams, which is insane. The next one's at 8, who we play right now, and then the next one comes at 15. So a lot of Big Ten teams here in the top 25. A win, and we get a bye. A loss, we play in the first round, probably against one of, probably 5 or 6 going into it. We do get 3,000 XP. We do win. We're 13-0. That means we get the 1 seed throughout the playoffs. The Big Ten champions. With Dylan Raiola being solid. Barney, 9 catches, 165 yards, and a touchdown. We actually get the head coach of the year because we go undefeated. Especially in the Big Ten. We also got a coordinator of the year. So that means we're probably going to be losing him. But Miller Moss gets the Heisman Trophy. We actually do get a Best Defensive Player award, which is nice. A freshman right in with 13 sacks. My goodness. He probably also gets Best Defensive End, which is fair. If you're the best defensive player, also get the Lombardi Award. And that's that. So 3, he literally got 3 awards. And he is, I don't know what his overall was. If we go to right end, we could probably check here. Yeah, Bracken's a freshman redshirt, 82 overall. 82. He was a 3-star coming into this, and he can barely even improve as well. For example, Turner was a 4? He was a 5-star prospect that could improve a lot more. So he'll probably start if we need to go into year number 3. But all in all, let's take a look at the bracket. We got Georgia making it as the 4th best team with a conference win at 9-4. Not even ranked as well, with Texas State, us, Nebraska, Iowa State, and Clemson making it as the automatic qualifiers, with USC, West Virginia, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State as the at-large bid. So we'll play the winner of West Virginia and Tennessee. I would love to win. And, in week 2 here I would love West Virginia to win. I'm highly expecting them to lose against Tennessee, but we'll see right here, right now. And we'll be playing Tennessee in the Rose Bowl, which I'm okay with. So let's get started here against Tennessee. They're 11-2. We're 13-0. We are an 86. They're an 87, but with an 89 overall offense. So this will be a tough matchup here to see if we can't win this game and go to the semifinal game to hopefully play Texas State. That'd be kind of an awesome win if we'd play a G5 school, but all in all, we'll go quarter by quarter. Tennessee starts with the ball and punts on their first drive, and another punt after we scored a touchdown, but a turnover is very costly because we could have been up 2 scores, but still another turnover. More turnovers But we do get a really long drive to score a touchdown. It's 14-0 at the end of the first half. It's 24-0 here in the third before they get a field goal to make this 24-3. And let's see if the offense can continue. We try to go for it on fourth down. We don't get it. They went for it on fourth down and failed. We get a field goal to make this a 24-point game. They do get a first down, though, on fourth down, but they don't do it again. And looks like Nebraska will keep the undefeated streak alive. They score a touchdown, a 2-point conversion with no time left on the clock. But we will win 27-11, kind of a weird score for the Rose Bowl, and we'll be moving on to the semifinals here with Nebraska in year number 2. 15,000 XP there, too, after that win. Quarterfinal playoff game. We move on to next week, where hopefully it's probably going to be, it's either USC, Georgia, or Texas State. And that answer will be shown. Right now it's USC in the Fiesta Bowl. We played them early on this season and we won. But that doesn't matter now. But a win would put us in the national championship game against either Texas A&M or Penn State. So let's get started here against USC. They're 12-2. We're 14-0. We're in 86, and they're the exact same overall as Tennessee. Offensive overall, 89. Defensive overall is an 87, and a team overall is also an 87 overall. But let's see how we do here to try to go to a national championship game. Let's go quarter by quarter. We're starting with the ball, and we punt. They punt as well on their first drive. We get a big touchdown to make this 7-0 at the end of quarter number 1. Heading into quarter number 2. Multiple punts by both sides, but we get a touchdown to go up 14-3 at the half. USC is going to start with the ball in the second half, do absolutely nothing until we turn it over. Or I guess punt. I don't think it was a turnover. But 14-11, now 21-11 here in the fourth quarter. And USC's driving. They end up getting a touchdown to make this a 3-point game, but we get some huge plays to go down the field quickly. That's another touchdown, but USC scores fast. This is wild. An absolute wild game. We're running it out. We start taking some knees. We kick a field goal with 30 seconds left, and we get an interception. That will officially end it. A wild fourth quarter to where we win 31-25. That was insane. That was back and forth fourth quarter with 14 points from USC and 17 from us, and we're going to take the win by 6, 31-25, and we're going on to the national championship game to face either Texas A&M or Penn State. Could be another Big Ten matchup. We could have 2 here in the college football playoff. I mean, there's a lot of Big Ten teams going in there anyway, so we're bound to face one of them at some point. But the team we're playing in the national championship is going to be Texas A&M. So we actually get SEC. This is actually the team that we took over a couple episodes ago. I think it's like over 10 episodes now, I believe. That actually set the record at 2 before we had Ohio State and Notre Dame with 1. But let's get started here against Texas A&M. They're 13-3. We're 15-0, trying to go undefeated. They're a 90 overall, so this will definitely be a tough matchup to play because Penn State was also a 90 overall, I believe, when I was checking through the rankings. But here at Hard Rock Stadium, in the rain, let's go quarter by quarter. Surprised they don't have the dome closed. We back-to-back turnovers by both teams, and we take a 3-0 lead at the end of 1 after a field goal. We're driving. We get another field goal, so it's 6-0. Now 6-3 after another field goal. Now 10-6. A big 10-0 run for Texas A&M. And we counter that with a touchdown of our own, so it's 13-10 in the fourth. Defense has to hold strong here. A big 3rd down and 7. They get a first. Big 3rd down. They don't get it, so they kick a field goal to tie the game. Don't like those penalties because now we got a punt. And 4th down and 6, they just punt it away. 3rd and 2, 4th down and 1, so we punt it. 4th and 4, they punt it again. A lot of punts here. And it looks like we're going to go into overtime here in the national championship. 4th and inches, they have to kick a field goal. All we need is a touchdown. We're 7 yards away, and that is going to do it. I don't like how it doesn't show that at the very end. The national trophy is in the ground, but Nebraska has won the national championship in year number 2, tying Texas A&M, fun fact, here on the channel, with 2 seasons. Takes for them to win a national title. 19-16, Dylan Raiola officially wins the national title here with Nebraska. That was, I mean, if you didn't see last episode with Marshall, we had 2 overtime wins as well to go into the national championship, and then we just destroyed the national championship. But undefeated with Nebraska. So that's kind of insane. So we will we'll gladly take it. So let's check the stats before we do leave. Dylan Raiola, 3,400 yards, 37 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Ives, I believe that's his name. I could be butchering it. I apologize. I'm not very good with names, but 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. Dowdle with 471 and 4. Receiving-wise, Coleman at 888 yards with 11 touchdowns. Lloyd 609 with 4, and Bullock 505 with 8. Defensive-wise, Thompson led the team with 66 tackles. Murphy led the team with 9 tackles for a loss. He also led the team in sacks with 16. The surprise Brackens, I guess he did more in the regular season, but Buford and Rico led the team with interceptions with 4. Brents led the team with 10 deflections. We did force a couple forced fumbles. We recovered 8 of them. We had 2 blocked kicks, 2 defensive safeties, but no defensive touchdowns. That's kind of sad. Kicking-wise, I mean, this guy was perfect for extra points and was 77% for field goals. Did get 1 blocked. No kick return touchdowns and no punt return touchdowns. But anyways, that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, hit that like button down below. It is free, really helps out the channel. And if you guys are new, hit that subscribe button. We're very, very close to 500 subs. And once we hit 500 subs here on YouTube, we'll be doing a 24-hour stream on YouTube. That means doing a lot of videos like this or just playing a lot of games. Who knows? But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see everyone back on Monday. I'm out. Peace.